Greetings, fellow seekers of wisdom and wonder. Welcome back to the Blind Techie Geek Speaks Unplugged podcast. I'm Kathleen Mashana. Today, I invite you to journey with me as I reflect on my screen-free week adventure. You heard me right. A modern-day philosophical experiment in living. From Sunday, May 11th at 7 p.m. until Saturday, May 17th at 10:16 a.m. I stepped away from the digital world and embraced the analog, trading pixels for presents. I began my week wandering through town on long, thoughtful walks, letting my mind breathe in the open air, and then I delve into the whimsical world of My Fox Ate My Homework by David Blaze. A delightful tale where a boy's life suddenly turns upside down when his mischievous pet fox causes magical mayhem. My evenings included cozying up with the movie A Long Winter Weekend, a heartwarming story about unexpected connections and second chances during a snowy getaway. I treated myself to classic comfort food at Wendy's. Nothing beats a burger, chicken nuggets, and a vanilla Coke when you're unplugged and savoring each bite. Reconnecting with friends the old-fashioned way, I had lengthy conversations on a landline phone. Rediscovering the art of deep, meaningful dialogue without the distractions of notifications. Throughout the week, I got hooked on the show Grimm, letting its supernatural mysteries play out on TV. I chronicled my thoughts using a Braille typewriter. Noisy, yes, but it gave my reflections a tangible form. The week wrapped up with me tuning into my favorite DJ Skywalker on K1047 on an old school radio. The static and music blended into the soundtrack of my unplugged life, alongside catching up on the news the way people used to do before screens dominated our attention. Some people might scoff at the idea of going entirely screen-free for a week, calling it ridiculous in our hyper-connected age, but I beg to differ. This experience gifted me new adventures, encouraged me to try fresh hobbies, deepened my face-to-face connections with family, and nudged me to learn new skills and lessons I might have otherwise missed out on. Sure, the first days were tough. I felt the urge to reach for my phone, to scroll, to check, to swipe, but gratefully, I realized I didn't need a screen to feel entertained or connected. And yes, I survived just fine without my beloved radio station BTGS on Stationhead. Instead, I tapped into my creativity and imagination, letting my mind wander, and daydreamed about becoming a philosopher someday. In fact, I found myself pondering a classic thought experiment. What if everyone in society had to go screen-free for a whole month? Would our tech-driven culture fall apart? Would we rediscover deeper moral values and human connection? Would chaos reign, or would we find clarity? As I reflected on Socrates' humble words of wisdom, I only know that I know nothing. I realized that this week allowed me to see life through a philosophical lens, to question, to wonder, to grow. It wasn't easy, but hey, I made it, and I'm better for it now. That being said, I have to admit, I would prefer going screen-free on the weekends instead of during the week. Sometimes a little balance is what we really need. So, would you dare to go screen-free for an entire week? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. And don't forget to listen to the Blind Techie Geek Speaks Unplugged podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the best connections happen when we're truly unplugged. Bye for now.